Good evening and welcome to Gonna Short once again. I hope you liked the morning episode on China. We'll follow it up as we go along. But a lot of things are moved on the chessboard between India and Pakistan. And then, well, we are in for the long haul. Let's be very clear. That's the first thing. Then I thought, let's look at issues a little differently. Let me look at it conceptually, and maybe 2-3 days down the line, I'll look at it tactically and what we can do on the battlefield, actuals, targets, weapons. But that I'll do a little later. But I will. Maybe eighth, ninth sometime. Okay. Today we're going to talk of something which is quite well known in mobile warfare or in mech warfare, a hammer and anvil approach. What is this hammer and anvil approach? Very interesting thing. Have a look at it. But before that, something else happened today. And that is this. Mr. Putin has dialed Mr. Modi and he's vowed full support to India in fight against terror. And he's repeated what our Prime Minister has said. He says those behind the attack and their supporters must be brought to justice. There was a view a few days back that Russia was prevaricating. Now Putin has come out in the open, absolutely straight with support to Mr. Modi. Very significant. Why is it significant? This gives, look, Russia is playing its own game in this. It's standing behind India. That's the first thing. Second, it's a message to China and USA. Understand this. It doesn't want China to get away with the idea that, China is the senior partner in this whole game. Right? And that's a very smart move. And considering the fact that Xi Jinping is coming to Moscow in a few days. And before that itself, he's told Xi Jinping, India is hands off. So that's a very major message which is already conveyed and with India. And of course, to USA also. You don't support India, we will. And it gives us a hedge against USA. If tomorrow USA says, look, cool off on Pakistan, you will say, okay, fine, you don't want, we'll handle it with Russia. It's not a case where US interests are supreme and Indian interests are not supreme. And that we should be very clear about. If it comes push to the shove, Indian interests are always supreme. That's my view. Okay, what's happening in Pakistan? All these headlines. Oh, they'll go to UN and terror attack and closed door meeting in UN, and they say we'll come full force response. Yeah, whoa. PTI stands behind army. Okay, what does it indicate? Panic. It's panic stations in Pakistan. It's in panic. Let's not make any mistake about it. Pakistan, the only thing which is coming out of Pakistan in the past 4-5 days, or maybe a little more, you attack us and we'll do something. अभी तक तो शुरू ही नहीं हुआ by खेल, but they already presume that we are going to attack them. They've done nothing. Okay, that's the beauty, and that's the panic they are in, and that's good panic for us. Put them on the rack. Okay, now let's talk of hammer and anvil concept. Let me explain this. What is the anvil? That hatoda marta hai, that base is the anvil. So in Fauj, in the army, the anvil are the defenses which you have. Right? You deploy in defenses. And then you force the attack, you force the enemy to attack you onto the defenses. The defenses are well prepared, strong. The enemy comes and tries to hit you. And as he hits you, You use a mobile force as a hammer and hit him from behind. Simple, right? So you have to pull this guy to something, which you hold, which he wants, and then you hit him from behind. This is the way we operate in the army. But let me today transpose this sort of a concept geostrategically as to what we can do with Pakistan. If we get this right, a lot of things will be right. Oh, incidentally, there's something else which can happen. In this kind of a scenario, the hammer can become the anvil, and the anvil can become the hammer. So it's sandwiched. Okay, let to understand this whole story, we have to understand what are we trying to do. We know in Pakistan there are two issues: the center of power and the center of governance. The state, the Pakistani state, is the center of governance. The Pakistani army is the center of power. We've had many wars with Pakistan and defeated them. Whom did we defeat? Whom did we defeat? We defeated the state. Though the army was part of it, we defeated the Pakistani army also in this. The state, everything, the nation, everything. But did we defeat the center of power? Did we break the center of power? No. With every war, this center of power called the Pakistan army has strengthened itself. So we have to understand this very fundamental thing. The center of power has never been destroyed in Pakistan. It has grown from strength to strength. Okay, let's look at the outlook. And this outlook has come in Asim Munir's speech. We'll talk of a little later. And this I've derived from many authors who have written, Tariq Rahman. Say, Hindus are not good fighters. Kashmir must be won. There's a clique which operates in Pakistan. And I think that clique is operating even now. There's a group thing. When you examine 48, 65, 71, Kargil, there was a group of officers who planned this whole thing and executed it, while the rest of the people were kept in the dark. Similar thing is happening here. They gamble for victory, and you see Asim Munir gambling for victory. And of course, Pakistan army has a very exaggerated view of itself. That is, evident in Munir's speech. I'll play the relevant thing a little later. And Pakistan army is responsible for its ideological frontiers. All about Allah. And even that I will show you in 2 minutes. It's got an obsession. Its struggle with India is existential. And it's a fact it's existential. There's no doubt. It doesn't matter if they win. Winning is not the same as losing. Understand this. They would take that calculated risk and lose, then do nothing. They can't do that. They can't be sitting behind and doing nothing. They have to take that calculated risk and lose. It's okay. And that's what makes them heroic. And that's what gives them power back. They cannot give any concession to India. Just forget it. You have to hit them and break them and get concessions. And in their thinking, victory is the ability to continue fighting. It doesn't matter whether win or not, they have to continue fighting. These are the thinking of Pakistan army. And that is today fully in view. And that's something which we need to understand when we are handling this lot of guys. Okay, right. What is their op strategy? I'm going to keep getting back to this op strategy as we go along. Their op strategy is very simple: intervene in India and keep the conflict going because it's free of cost. Combine nuclear, conventional, and proxy capacities so that India cannot afford the price of retaliation. The price of retaliation is always nuclear. They want to force India to live with terrorism. Because if India retaliates against terrorism or insurgency or whatever you call it, right, India is forced to cross Pakistan's red lines rather than nuclear red lines. Pakistan army might be, the Pakistan state might be poor, not the army. And hence they're well trained and well equipped, and they intend to use this instrument to achieve their ends. If you see in the past 30 years, their motto has been avoid war but continue the conflict. We have to reverse this. Okay. Now I've shown you about ideological state and confidence and superiority of Hindus over this, that, all that. Let's see what Asim Munir has said actually.
If this great Pakistani nation and the Pakistani armed forces, if 1.3 million Indian army with all their wherewithal, if they cannot intimidate us and they cannot force us, these terrorists can subdue the armed forces of Pakistan.
So very simple, anti-India. We cannot subdue them. We do not intimidate them. That's the think. That's the group think which comes in, right? Okay. What's the next thing?
पाकिस्तान की कहानी अपने बच्चों को जो है आपने जरूर सुनानी है ताकि वो पाकिस्तान की कहानी ना भूलें. Well, our forefathers thought that we are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect of life. Our religion is different. Our customs are different.
Completely anti-Hindu.
Our thoughts are different. Our ambitions are different. That was the foundation of the two-nation theory that was laid there. That we are two nations. We are not one nation. So because of that, our forefathers, they struggled, mounted that incessant struggle to create this country. Our forefathers, they have sacrificed immensely. And we have sacrificed a lot for the creation of this country. And we know how to defend it.
So he knows how to defend it. Now you see what all I had said earlier. Let's go back 1 minute quickly. Right? Hindus are not good fighters. Kashmir must be won. Pakistan army has an exaggerated opinion of itself. He said that. No one can, intimidate us. It's responsible for the ideological frontiers. All that comes out in just these two parts of that speech. But there are more, which I'll not, I'm just reminding you. Right? So it's that ideological frontier which is important. Okay. Now comes this. Very recently, he carried out an exercise, firepower exercise, and put it. Just have a look at what they've done. Allahu Akbar. The whole song is Allahu Akbar. And some firing. Ideological frontier. Not scared of India. A complete anti-India mindset. Like Mako effect. All this is there. He's showing a position of strength. Okay. So look at this. India, I mean, we're not scared of India, in anti-India mindset. If you come, we'll hit you. We are strong. All these messages are there. He's put one on the with the PAF, and he fired a lot of missiles, everything. He's showing that hard part of Pakistan. I agree with him. He's showing the hard part of Pakistan. And Pakistan army is tough. It's well equipped. Everything. So the question is, do you go and headbutt them? That's foolish. You don't headbutt them. You hit at their weakness. What is the weakness? You've seen this firing and all. Incidentally, all these guns are normal guns. 155, 122, ye wo. We've seen so much of firing. Oh, 4-5 round fire karke. Don't get scared. We've got much more than them. Okay, you're talking to a gunner. I've commanded an artillery division. I know how to fire. And I know how to talk. And I'm going to do that analysis as a div commander. Right. Look at this. This is the Achilles heel of Pakistan. Is the Pak military prepared for war? They've got shortage of ammunition. They don't have ammunition. Why? They sold all their ammunition. They were rather forced to sell their ammunition to whom? They were forced to sell it to Ukraine by the Britishers, by the US guys. And then they were very happy to sell it because it gave them money. And they even sold it to Israelis. So they were making money out of it. Yeah, that's what this picture also says. Right? The shortage is due to their sale to Ukraine. So they won't have money. They won't have ammunition. And we must know in modern wars, stamina of a nation comes from ammunition. If that be so, I mean, the first target I'll hit is that artillery ammunition factory. Finish it with your air, if you can. Or you should do a BrahMos strike. So that he can't. Of course, people are saying that they'll sustain for 3 to 6 days and all that. I have my doubts because if you manage your ammunition well, you can extend it. But and hope like hell that China gives you ammunition and things like that. But that's part of the game. You have to play this game, but you have to play this game intelligently. Okay. And it's one thing to have howitzers and guns and all that, and the other thing is to have ammunition. But then that's Pakistan army. They'll not step back. And they're hard. So get back to this diagram. We have defeated Pakistan army 4 times so far. Yet, the center of power of Pakistan has not collapsed. It is in fact strengthened. So what do you have to do? Any war with Pakistan or any conflict with Pakistan or any confrontation with Pakistan, call it what you want by which term, you have to destroy the army and you have to destroy it politically. Please remember that. You have to destroy it politically and you have to leave it out of battle. And if it comes into battle, it should come at a disadvantage. It can be defeated militarily, but the political defeat has to be pronounced. That's the first tenet of any war with Pakistan today. Defeat Pakistan army politically and then destroy it militarily. That's what we did partially when Article 370 was abrogated. What could Pakistan army do? It could do nothing. It just sat on the sidelines and kept wringing its hands because it was a political strike. What can Pakistan army do when you scrap the Indus Water Treaty? Held it in abeyance. Nothing. They can talk. Nothing. So the political is more important when you're dealing with Pakistan army. Of course, you have to hit it militarily. It's not that you just, but never forget the political. Now, this is a 1 minute, I think. Okay, this is a clip which you must see. I've highlighted the important parts of it on the side, and this is by Maulana Fazlur Rahman. He talks of many things. It's a long clip. Watch it carefully and hear it carefully. Let me see if I can, yeah. Just give me a minute. I'll have to I'll have to do something with this clip so that you can see the whole thing well. Okay, what do? I'll have to do a little change to that story so that 1 minute, please. Yeah, done. Done. Sorry. Yeah, just coming back. Yeah, we have come back. Okay, this is Maulana Fazlur Rahman. He's a very shrewd operator, and I've always felt that he's a very intelligent guy. He might not get votes, nothing, but he's shrewd, experienced. He has the pulse of the nation in some form. So listen to them, listen to what he says, and he exposes the weaknesses of Pakistan and the strength of Pakistan too. Right? Listen to it first.
और हम यहाँ पर अपने मामलात को सुलझाने के बजाय उलझाते चले जा रहे हैं। कश्मीर का मसला है, लेकिन कश्मीर के मसले से पहले हमें अफगानिस्तान के हवाले से सोचना हो कि पाकिस्तान बहैसियत रियासत के उसने अफगानिस्तान के साथ अपने सफारती ताल्लुकात बेहतर क्यों नहीं बनाए।
So Afghanistan is their weak point.
ये बात याद रखें कि जाहिर शाह से लेकर अशरफ गनी तक जितनी हुकूमतें आई हैं प्रो इंडियन थी, सिवाय अमारत इस्लामी अफगानिस्तान। अगर हम कोई सियासत जानते, अगर हम कोई सफारत जानते, अगर हम कोई अपना मुल्की मफाद जानते, तो आज अफगानिस्तान को एक प्रो पाकिस्तान अफगानिस्तान होना चाहिए।
So very important point he is making. He says Afghanistan should have been a pro-Pakistan Afghanistan. But that's not the case. And he himself says so.
हम इनको भी धकेल रहे हैं,
हम धकेल रहे हैं।
रूस के साथ कहीं बात करो, चाइना के साथ बात करो, इंडिया के साथ बात करो, किस बात पर? सरहदें रोक दी हैं, हजारों गाड़ियां माल ली हुई उधर खड़ी हैं, हजारों इधर खड़ी हैं, अवाम का माल तबाह बर्बाद हो रहा है, सरहद पर वहां टेंशन पैदा कर दी गई है। ये वो गलत पॉलिसियां कि मैं समझता हूं कि हमारी रियासत की कुव्वतें या तो सफारती जहन के साथ गुलाम हैं या फिर उनकी सफारती जहनियत सिफर है, उनको सोचने की सलाहियत है।
So सोचने की दिमाग है ही नहीं. That's what he says. Yeah.
और मैंने तो उनको कमेटी में कहा है कि जनाब, अगर हर मसले के लिए फौज के सोच या फौज की अप्रोच हो, कभी भी आप ये मसला हल नहीं कर सकेंगे जब तक कि आपके साथ पॉलिटिकल सोच ना हो, इकोनॉमिक सोच ना हो।
Very important. He says जब तक इकोनॉमिक सोच ना हो या पॉलिटिकल सोच ना हो, सिर्फ फौज के सोच के साथ आप कोई भी मसला हल नहीं कर सकते. And what is Asim Munir doing? He is doing exactly opposite of this. I agree with what this chap says.
आप कैसे इकोनॉमी को ठीक कर सकते हैं? इंडिया की इकोनॉमी ऊपर जा रही है, चाइना की इकोनॉमी ऊपर जा रही है, बांग्लादेश की इकोनॉमी ऊपर जा रही है, इंडोनेशिया की ऊपर जा रही है, मलेशिया की ऊपर जा रही है, अफगानिस्तान की ऊपर जा रही है, ईरान की ऊपर जा रही है, और इन सब के बीच में सिर्फ पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी गिर रही। क्यों?
सो पाकिस्तान का इकोनॉमी गिर रहा है, उसको गिरने दो और उसको ढक्कन लगाओ. That's what I get out. And mind you, this is all being spoken by one of their leaders. Okay? He doesn't have seats, but he's got influence. That's the point.
और हम यहाँ पर अपने मामला को इंडोनेशिया के ऊपर जा रही है, मलेशिया के ऊपर जा रही है, अफगानिस्तान के ऊपर जा रही है, ईरान के ऊपर जा रही है, और इन सब के बीच में सिर्फ पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी गिर रही। क्यों? हम तो जो कुर्सी पे बैठा होता है सिर्फ उसको देखते हैं, उस पर तरकीब करते हैं। रियासती पॉलिसी है जिसकी वजह से हम तबाह हो गए। आज भी मैं अपने फौज को इस महाज से एक पैगाम देना चाहता हूं कि इसका एतराफ कर लो कि मौजूदा सूरत हाल में आपकी पुष्ट पर ताकतवर सियासी कुव्वत नहीं।
Very important.
आपको
What
भी
he's saying
सियासी
now.
कुव्वत की जरूरत है, आपको भी अवाम की पुष्टपनाही की जरूरत है। जबानी बयान जारी कर देना कौम एक है, कौम एक है,
Zabani, whatever he says, com ek hai, does not work because the com is not with the Fauj. He's saying something very serious. We need to listen.
अब जब हमें इंडिया ने छेड़ दिया और उधर से मामला खराब हो गए, आप देख रहे हैं कि आज पूरी कौम एक सफ पे मुल्क की दिफा के लिए एक एक मुजाहिद तैयार है, एक एक पाकिस्तानी मुजाहिद बन गया है।
See, another important thing which he said, इंडिया ने छेड़ दिया तो पूरा कौम एक साथ है, एक एक पाकिस्तानी मुजाहिद बन गया. Nothing unites Pakistan better than India. Enmity with India. This is something we should not get involved with. You hit Pakistan army, complete nation will unite against us. We want a divided Pakistan. You want victory, you want a divided Pakistan.
मुल्क के साथ सब वफादार हैं, लेकिन हमें तज्जिया करना चाहिए। लोग बेवकूफ नहीं होते, हर चीज को समझते हैं लोग। अगर इंडिया के साथ मामला होगा कौम एक सफ पर होगी,
एक साथ.
अगर अफगानिस्तान के साथ मामला होगा कौम एक सफ पर नहीं होगी।
See, this is important. इंडिया के साथ होगा तो कौम एक होगा, अफगानिस्तान के साथ मामला है तो कौम एक नहीं होगा. So it's in our interest to make it them fight with Afghanistan. Haven't you thought of it? Okay, let's see.
सीधी बात, इस चीज को जरा जांचना चाहिए, तज्जिया करो इस बात का। दोनों के पस मंजर मुख्तलिफ, दोनों की जमीनी सूरत हाल मुख्तलिफ है। सो वो भी देखा, सो ये भी देखा। आज कश्मीर के मसले पर इंडिया की धमकियों के बाद पूरी कौम एक, लेकिन क्या ये सोच अफगानिस्तान के साथ मामला बिगाड़ने के वक्त भी मौजूद थे? नहीं। कुछ जरा सोच समझकर मौक़िफ़ इख्तियार किया। प्रोपेगेंडे से कुछ नहीं बनता। मीडिया के जरिए दबाव डालो हमारे ऊपर, नहीं, इससे कुछ नहीं होगा। हम अभी इतने छोटे बच्चे नहीं हैं कि आप मीडिया पर एक फजा बनाने की कोशिश करें और हम उससे मरूब हो जाएं। हम आपसे बेहतर सोचते हैं, हमारी अप्रोच आपसे बेहतर है, मामलात तक रसाई आपसे हमारी बेहतर है। आपको अपनी कौम के साथ बैठना,
कौम के साथ बैठना,
सियासत के साथ बैठना, आपको अपने इक़्तिसाद के साथ बैठना होगा, अपने वसाइल के साथ बैठना होगा, तब जाकर हम वो मुल्क हासिल कर सकेंगे।
So it's very clear, right? फौज की सोच, फौज की अप्रोच विदाउट पॉलिटिकल सोच और इकोनॉमिक सोच will not take us far. It will not take Pakistan far. Against India, on the issue of Kashmir, Pakistan is one. So that's a point we should ensure doesn't happen. And there's a severe problem in Afghanistan. He's outlined the problem. So why should we attack Pakistan directly? Right? Okay, now let's look at what this fellow, same chap, he's spoken about Baluchistan. Look at this.
जनाब स्पीकर, मेरे इलाके में ऐसे ऐसे एरियाज हैं जिसको फौज ने भी खाली कर दिया है, पुलिस तो खाली कर चुकी थी, बता दूं आप.
And this is on the floor of the assembly.
वो इलाके कि जो पुलिस तो खाली कर चुकी थी लेकिन फौज भी खाली कर चुकी है, और जहां पर जंग हो और पुलिस भी ना हो और फौज भी ना हो, तो वो एरिया किसके कब्जे में होगा और वहां किसका रहता. और दिल पे हाथ रखकर मुझे कहना पड़ता है, इंतहाई दर्द दिल के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि इस वक्त बलूचिस्तान के 5 से 7 अजला इस पोजीशन में हैं कि अगर वो आजादी का ऐलान कर दें, अगले दिन अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा में उनकी दरखास्त को कहां खड़े हैं हम लोग.
So it's very clear. He says Baluchistan is another place where provinces can just declare independence. कहाँ खड़े हैं हम? So it's a major weakness, and we have to understand this weakness called Baluchistan. Now let me go ahead a little further. This man is Ataullah Mengal, old Sardar of Baluchistan. He is no more. He was one of the, leading lights of, I won't say leading lights, he was one of the prominent politicians of Baluchistan. And he supported Nawaz Sharif. And what he had to say, and you understand the problem in Baluchistan, which has been festering from a long time, which is now coming to a head. Look at this. Hear this.
यहाँ कभी भी आपने देखा कि फौज ने अपने आप ये गुस्से में आकर लोगों को उठा लिया और फिर उसके मसूदा लाशें फेंकी? कतल ने एक भी वाक़या आप तुम्हें नहीं बता सकते. क्यों? ये फौज पंजाबी के लिए बुरा मानती. मियाँ साहब मुझे माफ करें, पंजाबी के लिए ये बुरा मानती. ये पंजाब की फौज है, ये पाकिस्तान की फौज नहीं, या फिर मैं पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा नहीं. मुझे
वेरी टेलिंग स्टेटमेंट. ये पंजाब की फौज है या पाकिस्तान की फौज है या मैं पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा नहीं हूँ.
पाकिस्तानी वो नहीं समझते. अगर नहीं समझते हैं, मुझे इस पर कोई एतराज नहीं है. उन्होंने खुद ये फैसला मेरे लिए किया है. इतना बता दूं कि इस सारे धंधे में बलूचिस्तान को पॉइंट ऑफ नो रिटर्न तक पहुंचा दिया. So
he's already said this long back. This is, I don't know when. This must be about 10-15 years back. Baluchistan was at the point of no return then. Now I think it's gone beyond that. Right? His son, who runs the BNP, he spoke, and you just listen to what he said, and then we'll take it forward, and you'll understand where Baluchistan is.
आप कह रहे हैं कि आप वैसे मजबूरी रियासत की जुग्राफिया को तस्लीम करते हैं और सूबे मजबूर हैं.
And this is his Akhtar Mengal.
जुग्राफिया पे एतराज है.
देखिए, बदकिस्मती ये रही है कि हम
Ataullah Mengal son
को जुटलाना चाहते हैं जो हकाइक पर मुबनी है. इससे कोई इनकार नहीं कर सकता कि बलूचिस्तान के लोगों को पाकिस्तान में जो शमूलियत की गई थी वो उनकी मर्जी से नहीं थी. आपके जो 2 ऐवान थे, आज कोई शायद उसको माने ना माने, लेकिन ये हकीकत है, हमें तारीख में नहीं पढ़ाया जाता. 2 ऐवान थे जो आपके, ऐवान बाला और ऐवान अजीज, जिसकी हम आज डेमोक्रेसी की बात करते हैं या डेमोक्रेटिक इंस्टीट्यूशन की बात करते हैं. हमारे यहाँ भी तो वो डेमोक्रेटिक इंस्टीट्यूशन थे. उसमें जब ये रेजोल्यूशन लाया गया तो उसको मानने से इनकार किया गया और वो रेजोल्यूशन को रिजेक्ट किया गया कि जी हम पाकिस्तान में शमूलियत शामिल नहीं होना चाहते. तो बज़ौर शमशीर क्या उसको शामिल नहीं किया गया उस वक्त बलूचिस्तान को पाकिस्तान में?
खान ऑफ कल्लात को और उसके साथियों को गिरफ्तार करके पाबंद सलासल नहीं किया गया था। तो उस मजबूरी के तहत आपने गन पॉइंट पे उसको कहा जी साइन कर ले, तो उसने साइन कर लिया। ये एक हकायक है।
आप कह रहे हैं कि आप
So he was told to sign on gunpoint and he signed. As simple as that. Baluchistan was taken forcibly, and from then to now, their sentiments are not with Pakistan. Okay.
आप कह
And now, recently, this fellow Asim Muni spoke of
A little bit
Baluchistan.
of the terrorism which is taking place in the country, and the people say, and the people they are mostly propagating that with this kind of security situation, there won't be any investment coming to Pakistan. Well, to them, they must hear me very clearly now. You think terrorists, they can take away the destiny of the country from us? If this great Pakistani nation and the Pakistani armed forces, if 1.3 million Indian army with all their wherewithal, if they cannot intimidate us and they cannot coerce us, these terrorists can subdue the armed forces of Pakistan. और बलूचिस्तान जो है, जो कि पाकिस्तान की डेस्टिनी है, ठीक है, जो कि पाकिस्तान के माथे का झूमर है, तुम 1500 बंदे कहोगे कि जी हम इसको ले जाएंगे, तुम्हारी अगली 10 नस्लें भी नहीं लेके जा सकती। Inshallah, you will see that we will beat the hell of these terrorists very soon.
So he's talking of beating the hell out of the terrorists and Baluchistan and all that. What's the repost? After this, look, so far, neither Ataullah Mangal nor Akhtar Mangal, his son, okay, have spoken of, separating. I've been following Baluchistan very closely. But for the first time, in response to what this fellow Asim Munir has spoken, Ataullah Mangal has spoken this. And listen to it very carefully. It's a little, the voice is low, but listen to it. That's the best I could show you.
जनरल मुशर्रफ फारूक के उनको इस तरह हिट करने के उनको पता नहीं चला करें के दो करेंगे को 10 नस्लों तक याद रखना अगर फिर हुई हुई है बंगालियों ने जो कुछ आप लोगों के साथ किया वो कितनी नस्ल तक आपको याद है तो याद करो ना हम तो याद करते आ रहे हैं हम तो पिछले 75 साल से आपकी हर जुल्म और ज्यादती को जो है याद करते आ रहे हैं राइट को लंदाड़ी सब हम याद करते आ रहे हैं लेकिन जन साहब आप लोगों को भी याद दिला दूं दुनिया की जंगी तारीख में 90,000 फौजियों ने जो एक हथियार नहीं डाले जो आपने फौज में ये भी अपनी निसाब की किताबों में डाल दें कि आपकी आने वाली 10 नस्लें जरूरी पड़ेगी अपनी निसाब की किताबों में ये भी डाल दें कि उन 90,000 फौजियों के न सिर्फ हथियार बल्कि उनकी पत्नियों ने भी आज तक वहां पे टांगी हुई है ये भी उनमें डाल दें कि जंग हार चुके थे लेकिन आपके टेलीविजन और रेडियो पे खबरें आ रही थी कि जी हमने पता नहीं कौन कौन से हिंदुस्तान के जो इलाके फतेह कर लिए ये भी निसाब की किताबों में डालते हैं कि कितने लाख बंगालियों का कत्लेआम आप लोगों ने वहां पे किया ये भी इसके साथ ये भी इसके साथ की किताबों में डालते हैं कि आपकी आने वाली 10 नस्लें याद करें और अपना सर फख्र से ऊपर करें कि हजारों की तादाद में बंगाली औरतों की अफसरदगी करने वाले कोई गैर मुस्लिम नहीं थे मुसलमान फौज के भी और कुछ सुनना है तो जमीन साहब बहुत हम
So this is the first time I'm hearing Akhtar Mangal speaking with a shade of separatist ideas. I said this earlier also. So far, the three movements within Baluchistan had not coalesced. That is the Baluch Jati Committee, the Baluch rebel armies, the Baluch freedom fighters, and the Baluch mainstream politicians. Now I see them getting together. And the architect of getting them together is this man. He's got them together. So Baluchistan is ripe for a rebellion of a major kind. It's not, so far it's already there. You remember the Jafar Express attack. For that matter, Marang Baluch is still in jail. This man is not allowed to enter Quetta. So that's in a bad shape. And every day there are action going on in Baluchistan. And there's a complete media blanket on it. 2 days back, they took over Noshki and let it go. A week back, some other town. So the Pakistan army doesn't have grip over Baluchistan. It doesn't have grip over, the Durand line. It is in enmity with Taliban. And it wants to fight with India. And you give him fight now, he'll unite everyone behind him. Is it sensible? And that is why I got this thing of hammer and anvil. And look at this. This is Hamid Mir. Hamid Mir describes the actual situation in Baluchistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa very nicely, very clearly. What is the status? Listen to it.
पिंडी में जो बैठे हुए हैं पॉलिसी मेकर्स, ये चले मेरे साथ, इनको मैं लेके चलता हूँ. ये अटक का पुल क्रॉस करें, खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में पन्नू टीआई खान में असर के बाद जाकर दिखाएं मुझे किसी सड़क पे. चैलेंज है मेरा, असर के बाद, मगरिब के बाद नहीं, असर के बाद किसी सड़क पे निकल के दिखाएं मुझे. और ये पुलिस के साथ भी नहीं जा सकते. ये जितने भी बड़े बड़े पॉलिसी मेकर्स है ना, अपने आप को बड़े फने खान समझते हैं, ये चले मेरे साथ बलूचिस्तान में, और जो हब से जो खुशदार को सड़क जाती है वहां पे मुझे ये मगरिब के बाद चल के दिखाएं वहां पे, और किसी पेट्रोल पंप पे खड़े होकर चाय पी के दिखाएं मुझे. और ये जो हमारे बड़े बड़े वुज़रा साहबान है ना, जो कहते हैं पाकिस्तान में सब कुछ अच्छा हो रहा है, और बहुत बड़े बड़े हमारे जो मीडिया के लोग हैं जो आजकल इस हुकूमत की तारीफ में जमीन व आसमान के किलाबे मिलाते हैं, ये जाके दिखाएं ना मुझे इन सब इलाकों में, और वहां पे जाके इसकी तारीफ करके दिखाएं मुझे शहबाज शरीफ साहब की हुकूमत की.
So this is what he says. I mean, you see the sum total of what I've put across, whether it's Maulana Fazlur Rahman or Atalla Mangal or Akhtar Mangal or Hamid Mir. Pakistan army has no control over Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Baluchistan. That is half the country. And it has got problems with Taliban. Don't you think we should exploit this? Yeah, let's go ahead. This is it. This is the kind of, what shall I say, cartoons which come up, right? Mutilated bodies, enforced disappearances, murders. These are the cartoons which come out. We should know where Pakistan's weakness is. It's not as if we don't know, but how do we exploit it is the issue. Okay, and then you have a problem of leadership. I mean, Shahbaz Sharif is absent many times. See this.
जी सर, मैं सैयद जफर हुसैन मेरा नाम है सर, दुनिया न्यूज़ से मेरा ताल्लुक है. मेरा सवाल जनाब डिप्टी प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब से है सर. आप पॉलिटिशियन है, एक पॉलिटिकल क्वेश्चन भी हो जाए सर. गुज़िश्ता 1-1.5 हफ्ते से सारी सिचुएशन चल रही है. मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहूंगा कि हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर
The case of the missing prime minister
कहाँ हैं?
कहाँ
वो
है?
कहीं हमें फ्रंट पे नजर नहीं आ रहे। वो कौम के लीडर हैं, वजीर आजम हैं, क्या उन्हें नहीं चाहिए कि वो फ्रंट पे आके फ्रंट से कौम को लीड करें, कौम को इत्मीनान मिले और कोई कौम से खिताब कर लें, बताया जाए कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या हुकूमत करना चाह रही है। सारी सिचुएशन को डील करने के लिए एक मुल्क से ये जंग का मामला है, कोई छोटा इशू नहीं है। फिर आपने ये कहा कि करारदाद सेनेट ने पास कर ली है, ये कौम की आवाज़ है। मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगा, क्या 15-20 सेनेटर्स की मौजूदगी में करारदाद की मंजूरी को कौम की आवाज़ करार दिया जा सकता है? जी सर, मैं सेनेट ने
Here at this point of time, when that chap is asking questions, the DGISI who's sitting next to the Deputy Prime Minister passes him a thing, and this is what he should speak. This is the state of Pakistan's leadership at this point of time. There's only one man leader. Actually, this reminds me of Yahya Khan times. Only one guy could speak in the nation. Just see how the DGISI passes on a paper to him. Okay, sorry.
को कौम की आवाज करार दिया जा सकता है। आपको
See this now. He'll pass a paper. See, he's written and he's told him now, कि भाई यही बात करो. That is the status. And if you think this Pakistan army is very, sought after in the nation and all that, have a look at this. This is Jahangir Karamat. General Jahangir Karamat was the chief. See what he says about Asim Munir and the Fauj.
हमें तो ये मालूम हो रहा है कि ये पाकिस्तान के अवाम से दूर हो रही है। पाकिस्तान के अवाम और फौज के दरमियान इतना फासला हो गया है कि ये एक निहायत खतरनाक सिचुएशन में हम पहुंच गए हैं। जनरल बाजवा के जमाने में हमें GH2 बुलाया गया था और GH2 में हमारी बड़ी लंबी मीटिंग हुई। उस लंबी मीटिंग के मतलब तो मैं इतना नहीं कहना चाहता, बट वहां पर उस मीटिंग में उन्होंने सिर्फ बार बार हमें एक रिक्वेस्ट की कि जी आप थोड़ी देर ठहर जाएं, हालात ठीक हो जाएंगे। हम उस वक्त हमने सब्र किया। उसके बाद जब बाजवा रिटायर हो गया और जनरल आसिम मुनीर ने नई कमांड संभाली, तो हमारा ख्याल था कि इसको हमें मौका देना चाहिए ताकि जो पॉलिसी जनरल आसिम मुनीर बनाता है इस मुल्क के लिए, वो उस मुल्क के लिए अच्छी है या नहीं है। हमने इतने महीने इंतजार किया। उसके बाद हमने इनको एक खत लिखा, जिस खत में हमने इनसे ये दरखास्त की कि मुल्क के हालात इतने संगीन होते जा रहे हैं, हमें मौका दें, हम आपके साथ मिलके बैठ के अपना नजरिया आपके सामने पेश करें, आप अपना नजरिया हमें बताएं। मगर जनरल आसिम मुनीर ने बिल्कुल परवाह भी नहीं की कि उन्होंने इस खत का जवाब नहीं दिया। अब थोड़े दिन हुए हैं कि हमारे 2-3 रिटायर्ड सीनियर जनरल आसिम मुनीर से मिले किसी सिंध रेजिमेंट के फंक्शन में। वहां पर जब उन्होंने मुल्क की हालात के मतलब उनसे बात की, तो आसिम मुनीर का जवाब ये था कि आप इस फौज को नहीं जानते, ये नई फौज है। बिल्कुल दुरुस्त उन्होंने कहा। हमने तो वो फौज जानते हैं जिसने पाकिस्तान बनते हुए अपने जज्बे के साथ काम किया और उसी जज्बे के साथ फौज काम करती रही। आजकल की जो फौज है, हमें तो ये मालूम हो रहा है कि ये पाकिस्तान के अवाम से दूर हो रही है। पाकिस्तान के अवाम और फौज के दरमियान इतना फासला हो गया है कि ये एक निहायत खतरनाक।
So this man, Jahangir Karamat, was a very respected chief. Right? He's saying कि फौज और अवाम के बीच में दरमियान फासला हो गया है. You do anything now, that fasla is going to get reduced. Should you do that? I mean, I'm not saying not take up, not deal with Pakistan militarily, but your approach has to be different. You see the whole story. Leadership is poor. Now let's look at their agriculture. They are in a mess as it is. Their wheat crop has gone down. They're likely to miss their production this year with or without Indus Water Treaty. And their problems are being compounded by, the climate change and their water infrastructure, which is in a bad shape. Okay. And what's more, the government doesn't have money to buy wheat from the farmers at the minimum support price also. They're in a very bad shape. They will need to import wheat. That's the status. And it is in this context that we should examine this Indus Water Treaty and what Sabah Sharif had to say when we, abrogate, I won't
Therefore,
abrogate it, held it in abeyance.
any attempt to stop, reduce, or divert the flow of water belonging to Pakistan under the Indus Water Treaty would be responded to with full force and might.
So he wants to respond with full force and might. If you do anything against the Indus Water Treaty, let him do. Why do you want to do anything? Let him do now. Provoke him. Provoke him into doing a mad thing. I'll not play the rest. This is what he said. So what are you looking at in the Indus Water Treaty? Now I switched tracks. Afghanistan, Baluchistan, Taliban, food, Indus Water Treaty. There, people say Indus Water Treaty is not, whatever we are doing, that holding it in abeyance won't help. Won't achieve results. But who's looking at short-term results? Let me at the outset tell you, it gives you short-term results and long-term results both. Already the short-term results have started. You've seen, this is the sowing season. This is the sowing season for wheat, the rice and kapas, that is cotton. If they don't get water regularly, right, they're done. Which they are in a bad shape. Now, in the Indus Water Treaty, if you dredge the Wular Lake, then the holding capacity of Wular goes up. That's in J&K. Okay. And then the water going down will reduce. And when you dredge the Wular Lake and empty it, flush it out, send water down the Jhelum, what will happen? Mangla will silt up. Mangla has, as it is reduced capacity, it will even go further bad. Over and above that, you do desilting. Same problem, when you do desilting of dams, the silt goes into into Pakistan. Thank you to them. Why? You don't need to construct canals. You do pipeline transfers. And why pipelines will take only limited amount of water, but they can take adequate water for lean season. You dry up Chenab, that's what's happening now. Lean season, you introduce variability and uncertainty, that's a weapon. And that is coming now. You don't need great canals. You just need a few pipelines. You start now, maybe in the next 4-5 months, you'll have the pipelines ready. Kacha, bacha, whatever it is. And then thereafter, keep doing what you have to do with it. Okay. Now you look at this water system. We know Indus does not have water. The groundwater situation in Pakistan is depleting. Contamination is high, their cropping is poor, and cities are struggling for water. And their overall water management is poor. All this is known, there's nothing new. Now let me focus on a few critical points of the Indus Water Treaty which you weaponize. See these two rivers which I put. Okay. Take it back. Okay. See these two rivers. This is Jhelum on the top and Chenab at the bottom. These are the critical ones which you have to control. So what's happening there? Okay, they have this Daimar, Basha, and Tarbela and Mangla dams. Fine. Let them be where it is. But you can do something else. ये जो Chenab है ना, this is a trick. Pakistan doesn't have water in Ravi and Satluj because Ravi and Satluj water are ours. So what does Pakistan do? Pakistan taps water from the Chenab at a place called Marala and then transfers it to Ravi, and from Ravi it transfers to Satluj. Okay. Now, which are the cities in this area which get watered? Sialkot, Lahore, all the big cities of Punjab are dependent on this. You have to dry this out, and half of Punjab is hit. If Punjab is hit, you're hitting at heartland Pakistan. You don't understand this. And this is Chenab today. There's no water in Chenab. People are crossing. There's a film. I'll not play it because it will become too late. Okay. Now, this is again Chenab. Now, there are a whole lot of dams on Chenab, if you look at it. Salal and Baglihar. Do flushing. Flush. The moment you flush these, water capacity goes up. If water capacity goes up, holding capacity goes up, or desilt it, then water variability can be built in very easily. And flush all that down. Marala head barrage is somewhere here. Marala headquarters. Or rather, Marala headworks. Kill it. And then their water into Punjab is blocked completely. Okay. And then you have a whole lot of other dams which are under construction. With Dulhusti, Kiru, Pakaldul, Ratle. Pakaldul, the Prime Minister went and inaugurated it a few months back. All these will be ready by 26-27. The moment that becomes ready, and these are, whatever is done, in a matter of 2 years, Pakistan will be on its knees. And then there are 2 canals which come from here. This is Aknur, down where my pointer is. They take water into Jammu, called the Ranbir Canal and the Pratap Canal. Activate them. Flush more water out of them. Let me tell you, if Chenab goes dry or variability in water in Chenab goes high and uncertainty becomes high, Pakistan will be on its knees. And then do something in Wooler. I told you, Wooler is this. Right? There's a barrage which is to be put here. Put it. It's called the Tulbul Navigation Project. Put it. Now it doesn't matter. Just start it. And this is Kishanganga. There's a tank pondage out here. We have a hydroelectric project out here. The Kishanganga is allowed to go. But water from the hydroelectric project goes into Wooler. Now, if you do this, you can dry Jhelum and Kishanganga and this belt out completely. Pakistan will be in complete pain. And they had a Neelam Jhelum hydroelectric project which was being built by Chinese that developed cracks. China ka hai, China ka mal crack hoga. And they had to abandon it. So that is the status of Pakistan. People say IWT is a long-term thing. No, it's not. You've taken a whole lot of kinetic actions, which I've already spoken of. I'll not reiterate them. But overflights have been banned. Others are not going over Pakistan. Air France is the latest. There are others. Some European carriers also not going over. British carriers are not going over Pakistan. So Pakistan loses money. Economically, it's being hit. Ships are being banned. Trade is being banned. And if you can impose this trade ban, Pakistan is down for the count. This, trade through Dubai. That is something which we have to solve. It's $10 billion worth of trade. You can just choke Pakistan off. And like I said earlier, they're all mineral oils, distillation products, organic chemicals, pharmaceutical products, sugar. Even sugar, it goes from here, vehicle parts, everything. There's so many things which Pakistan gets from us. It's just a matter of how to stop them. And then latest, the Turkey, they sent a ship there. They're giving all kinds of thing there. And we need to impose economic and diplomatic costs on Turkey. We have no doubts. Put it through USA. Indigo, put pressure on Indigo to stop using the Turkish charter, Corendon. Why should we use their charter? There are other chaps who will come and do the same job. So we have a lot of things which we need to do. Okay. Now let me get back to this business of anvil and all that. Hammer and anvil. The anvil you put in place, your armed forces. Okay. Now you use these hammers, multiple hammers, which are there, right? Whether it is your Indus Water Treaty or your Afghanistan or Baluchistan or Pashtunistan or all those areas, people, ensure that the people, start turning against the Fauj. For that, you need an information campaign. You need to ensure that the people don't get their basics. You see the Fauj itself, there are cracks. Feed it. Okay, use diplomacy. You see this where Russia has come out. There are many countries which don't like Pakistan. Use them. Get onto the politics of Pakistan. Get onto their economy. These are all the hammers with which you can hammer Pakistan against the anvil called your Fauj. And what about CPEC? It's a major weakness. And then make this enemy called Pakistan come here and activate this, or activate this and hit him from here. Exchange this hammer and this thing. The anvil and hammer have to act in concert. Develop the strategy. There's no hurry for it. There's no hurry for it. Again, I come back to this. The center of power and the center of governance. You destroyed the center of governance, but it has come up. But this is what you need to destroy. Okay. That's the thing. Destroy this politically. The political defeat has to be clear. What should their op strategy? I had spoken earlier. Intervention in India keeps the conflict going free of cost. Combining nuclear, all that. But let me see, what should we do? What should be our op strategy? We should tell Pakistan conflict has costs, impose costs on them. We need to disaggregate their nuclear, conventional, and proxy capacities through the people. Influence people's power or induce people's power. We should ensure that Pakistan cannot afford the price of sponsoring terror. Make everything costly for Pakistan. Force Pakistan to live with uncertainty. Humiliate Pakistan so that it goes into action in the most inappropriate manner. Make it start the war. Then you hammer them. Avoid the local battle, but continue the larger war. See their thing? Avoid war, but continue conflict. Avoid battle, but continue the war. Pressure. And Pakistan will surrender. Right? And this is what I had to say. If you liked what I've said, please do press the like button and subscribe to Gunner Shot. I'm focusing on various aspects. Today morning I spoke of China. Now I'm speaking of this. Tomorrow I'm speaking with Tahir Gora in Hindi about what Pak-China collusion. And a few days later, we're going to talk. I'm going to get till Narayanan 7th. We'll talk with him. And I'm going to talk maybe 8th, 9th, or maybe on 7th. I'll talk to you about how to use various weapon systems against Pakistan, one by one, bit by bit. Be patient. The war has not started. The war has started, the battle has not started.